Hello everybody. So today I'm going to be telling you about the first car accident I was ever in, and this actually happened a little over a month ago. So it was a Friday, and I'm just gonna give you some background information about what was happening that day. The day before, which was Thursday, my friend invited me to her birthday party, and her birthday party was gonna be at this karaoke place. And if you guys don't know, karaoke at a restaurant on a Friday night is usually a time for a bunch of grown men and women to get all drunk and make a fool out of themselves. I'd been invited to go to karaoke with this group of friends every single Friday ever since April, and every single time my mom had said no because of the drunk people, you know. This time it was for my friend Haley, which is who it was. It was for her birthday, and so I told my mom that Haley wanted me to go to her birthday party, and she said, "Where is it gonna be at?" And I was like, "Some restaurant. We're gonna go out and eat." Yeah. So my mom said, "Okay, yeah, you can go, whatever." So that day, it was a super busy day. I remember I was doing stuff, don't really remember what. Haley and her boyfriend John was the one who was driving everyone around. They text me and they say, "Hey, so we're gonna pick you up at around 6:30. And I said, "Okay." So that gave, like, I was running errands, and I said, "Okay, so I'll get back around 5 o'clock. I'll have enough time to shower and get all my hair and makeup done," because it was a Friday night and we were going to karaoke. I wanted to dress nice, you know. So on the car ride home from my errands that I was running, it was 5 o'clock, and John calls me and says, "Hey, so the rehearsal that we were doing and the trip to the bank took a lot less time than we thought it was gonna be, so we're gonna pick you up at 5:30. And I was like, "Oh." So I get home at like 5:10, and I jump in the shower, I wash my hair super fast, I change. So John gets there, and John and Haley are there. I get in the car. They were sitting outside of my house for a long time because I wasn't quite ready. The next thing we did was we went back to Haley's house and picked up Haley's mom because she couldn't drive. So the next thing we do is we go to Publix, and Haley's mom needs to pick up some things for the birthday party. So we're there for a couple minutes, and then we're on our way. So the car ride was supposed to be around 30-45 minutes, and we got to an intersection. John had slammed on the brakes a couple of times just because they're just idiots driving, but this time he slammed on the brakes so hard. I was looking at my phone and I looked up, and there was a person on our windshield. I just heard this loud boom, and the next thing I knew, there was glass like thrown all over me, and the person who was on the windshield rolled off, and Haley started screaming, and the windshield was just completely destroyed. Let's just say, like, this is what the windshield was supposed to look like. It looked like this, and the little mirror was hanging by a thread. And oh my gosh, it was so scary. Car accidents are scary, I understand that. But this, if you didn't catch on, we hit a person who's on a motorcycle. I'll get to more of that in a second, but usually when you get in a car accident with another car, you just see the car, you don't see the people. And this, it was just, you saw the person. There was a human being on the windshield of our car. And that was just one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. So the car slams on the brakes, and I look up, there's glass all over me, and Haley's like this. I see her from behind, right? Because I'm sitting behind her, and so she's like this, like trying to block herself, and she's screaming. My first thought was, we were just in a car accident. And I was so scared. Like I couldn't stop shaking. Everyone started getting out of the car. Haley was out calling the police. John was over there making sure that guy was okay. Haley's mom was out of the car making sure John and Haley were okay, and I was just sitting there. I don't think I've ever felt so alone, because yeah, I was with 3 other people, but I was with a girl, her boyfriend, and the girl's mom. And then there was me. And also I was the only minor in the car, and I was the youngest by 3 or 4 years. I felt like everyone had different things to worry about. So the police came eventually, and I brushed all the glass off of me. I wasn't hurt. And I got out of the car, I looked and I saw the guy who we hit, and he was like 20 feet in front of us. So it was a 4-lane road, or like 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other way. And then there's like this little roadblocker between it. His motorcycle was in the other 2 lanes. We were in the left lane. So like there's a right lane and a left lane, we were in the left lane. And so his motorcycle was on the other side of the intersection, or on the other side of the road. And his helmet was over on the right side, on the sidewalk. And he was laying there, motionless. And I thought he was dead. Like that was my first instinct. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just in a car that killed a person. And I still wasn't sure what happened. I thought that it was John's fault, but that's because at the end of the day, John wasn't hurt and this guy was. So eventually, since I was looking at my phone when it actually happened, I found out that we were doing the right thing. So the light had turned red, or the light was red as John was approaching it, but then it turned green again. So before John had to stop completely, he kept going because the light turned green. And the person on the motorcycle, so we were driving this way, and he was waiting right here. And his light had just turned red, but I guess he thought he could make it since like we were in an old car maybe, and he thought that we were going to be driving slow or something. He tried to cut us off, but he ran straight into us. But anyway, the guy is fine. He was clearly in a lot of pain. He had a shoulder injury. They took him away in an ambulance. They cleaned up the blood that was all over the street because there was a lot of blood. But yeah, the police asked us if we were okay like a million times. So many people asked if we were okay. So many people asked who was driving the car. So many people asked what happened. They told us about what happens with glass. I heard the glass talk a million times. Like the glass, it'll take a couple days to rise to the top of the skin. Then you can just pick it off or wash it off in the shower. You might need to change your clothes, stuff like that. And they also told us that getting in a car accident is similar to getting out of a fight or coming off of a high adrenaline rush. So you might feel sore after a while. And I called my mom, and I was scared because my mom technically didn't know where we were going. If we had been closer to the place, then it would have taken a lot longer for my mom to get there, especially if we were in an unfamiliar area. But in this case, we were still in an area that I was very familiar with. So I called my mom and I said, we were in an accident, everyone's okay, but I just need a ride home. So my mom came. It took her about 20 minutes to get there because it was really that place was really about 10 minutes from my house, but traffic was stopped up, so it took her a while. And she pulled into the Wendy's parking lot that was right near the intersection. But yeah, they got everything cleaned up super fast. The car was pretty much totaled. The birthday party got canceled. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it was just such a terrifying experience. And it also just shows how stupid people can be. I don't know, like, if you see a car coming, don't think you can just cut them off because you're on a motorcycle and you're fast. I'm glad that that guy's okay, even though it was his fault that my friend's car got totaled, but I'm glad he's okay. He's gonna make a full recovery as far as I know. John had no charges. It was, the police deemed it not John's fault, completely not John's fault. But yeah, if it had been an actual car instead of just a motorcycle, it would have been a completely different story because we could have all gotten hurt because it was a tiny car. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the other videos we've done. So yeah.